Hello Facebook, good evening everybody. So it is Tuesday night and I committed 4 weeks ago that I was going to do a live on here every Tuesday around this time, so 8:30. I think that is proven to be the more popular time, between 8 and 8:30. So I have no idea if anybody is going to log in live or whether people are catching up. So if you are watching on catch up, let me know that you are catching up. If you're watching live, just say hey. Because tonight what I want to talk about is running. And the reason I've chosen running as the topic tonight, if you don't know, is because I do a lot of running. So you can imagine I get lots of questions, I get lots of people message me, so I thought it would be a really appropriate live for me to jump on this evening, maybe answer some questions and just give you a few top tips and hopefully help you. But I want to point out at the beginning, I am no professional runner. I am not an athlete. I am not a coach. I am just an enthusiastic runner. I am learning every day. I have learned amazing tips, little tricks of the trade, if you like. I've made all the mistakes, and I have surrounded myself with some amazing people who, are not just runners, the triathletes. I am men, I am women, and I've learned lots from them. So this isn't the right or wrong answers that I'm going to be giving you. I just thought I would jump on live and share some tips, some advice. It works for me, stuff that hasn't worked for me, just to give you a bit of an idea. Because like I say, I get asked a lot. And normally the first thing that people say to me is, why do you run? Why do you run so much? I normally get, I think you're mad, you're crazy. So I would say to you, if you are maybe sat watching my Facebook or somebody else's Facebook or, want to run, ask yourself why. Why is it that you want to run? Because it's like anything in the world, anything out there, you've got to ask yourself why. Why is it that I want to do that job? Why is it that I want to take up this hobby? Why is it that I want to do X, Y, and Z? Because that then has got to be your focus. Because if it means enough to you, then you will overcome any objectives that get in your way. So why is it that you want to run? And I can see Eva's logged in, she's a runner. Lucy's logged in, she runs. Who else? Got loads of people logging in. Who else? Have we got anybody else that runs? No, and just to sort of go back to when I first started, I can't make up my mind when it was I started running. I think it was about 11 or 12 years ago. Caroline Broderick, if she logs into this live, she will probably know the exact day, time, minute that we started. But Caroline started a running club from the gym that I'm a member at, and I could not run. I was a personal trainer, I was teaching classes, I was teaching spin, body pump, step, you name it. I was fit, but I could not run. So let me point out, I started right at the very beginning where everybody else starts, where I could only walk for a minute, jog for a minute. I'm not even going to say run because it wasn't. And we just used to run up and down the little strip outside the gym, and I would hate it. It just was so hard. And Caroline was just amazing. I'm going to tag Caroline in this because I genuinely wouldn't have started running if it wasn't for Caroline and her patience. I'll say that. She was very, very patient. She had about 30 of us running up and down the main road. So that was where I started. And then, I saw people entering 5K races, fun runs, race for life. And I just thought, you know what? I like competition. I am quite competitive. I'm very competitive, not gonna lie, you all know me well enough on here. I'm very competitive. So I thought I wanted to get into 5K, started running more with my cousin Christina. We were super competitive with each other. 5K turned into 10K, and then over time that turned into half marathons. And there are lots of people that I've spoken to over the years that tell me they don't think they can run, and I'm seeing them run half marathons now for fun. So I think everybody has that same mindset. But why is it that you want to run? It might be because you're competitive and you want to, challenge yourself to do a 5K or a 10K. It might be for weight loss reasons. Lots of people like to build the fitness up and are looking at ways of losing weight. It might be just to strengthen your body. It might be to just get fitter, general health and fitness. Clear mind, mental health. There are lots and different reasons. And what I absolutely loved in the first lockdown is I have never ever seen as many people out and about walking, jogging, running. It was amazing to see. And the weather was lovely as well, which enticed people to go out. And I really do hope that when this lockdown, I don't want to say like is over, closed, finished, done, whatever it may be, I don't know what the right wording is, that people continue to do that, because as it's got darker, as it's got miserable with the weather, I've seen less and less people out there. And I'd hate for people to give up who had really good intentions at the beginning when they had, you know, a little bit of time at the beginning of lockdown. So why is it you got started then? Why is it that you want to get started? Have that focus, and then you'll have no excuses. And I've got some little notes so I don't deviate too much, because I don't want to bore you with it all tonight. You know, and if you are very, very much like, I have no idea how to run, I don't know where to start, I don't know what to do, I would advise you to download the Couch to 5K app. And the reason I say this is because I've told lots of people to do this who've had really good results with it, because you are accountable to the app, if you like. The app tells you everything that you need to do. It is basically from somebody based doing nothing on your couch, if you like, to then being able to get to 5K. It tells you how to start with your walking, your jogging, your recovery, your stretching, and it will get you there. And you know, if you feel that after a week you can't move on to the next week, it doesn't matter. You can repeat that week again, but it will get you there in the end. You've got that accountability. You can tick off each week. And I find that when you've got that accountability, when it comes to an app, or you've got some focus, or you've got a running partner, which is one of my tips that I was going to share tonight, you won't quit. You will keep going. So download that app, have a little look at it. Whether it be 5K, you can do, there's a Couch to 5K and there's a Couch to 10K app. So take a look at those apps. I've already said, get a partner. If you can run with somebody, it makes life so much easier. It will keep you going, you know. And I've done lots of runs on my own. I've done lots of runs with just one or two people. I've done runs within a group, and the group that I run with will, they've probably enjoyed lockdown that I've not been running with them, because I just talk all the way around and literally just chew their ear off. And it's because I just feel like that gets me round. The more I talk, the more I get round. So I love running with people. The people who run with me probably hate me. And they'll see if they comment on here. But it makes a massive difference. So maybe try and find somebody very similar to you that's maybe got some similar goals to you, who's never run and you want to run with. Put it out there, you know, put it on your social media. Say, would anybody like to come running with me? We can start. And you can just be a general walk for a minute, jog for a minute, walk for a minute, jog for a minute. Build it up. Jog from lamppost to lamppost, then have a little bit of a walk, because we all start at the beginning. So don't be worried about there being the right or wrong time to start running, because there is no right time, there's no wrong time. It's just the right time for you when you are ready and committed. And I think with a partner as well, it goes back to that accountability. And these are just some of my top tips, that if you're having a rubbish day and you've planned to go for a run at 6 p.m. as an example, and I really struggle to run of an evening, like I have to physically drag myself out of an evening, you know, it might get to that point where you'd be very easily at 10 to 6 like, I'm not going to run, like I'm not bothered. Whereas if your friend is sat there lacing up their trainers, you won't not go. And I promise the only runs that you will regret are the runs that you don't do. I promise you that now, because what happens is you can have a rubbish day, you can feel shocking, you really haven't got the energy to go, your friend messages you, are you ready, you get out, you go, you feel amazing when you get back. It makes such a difference, and you are super grateful that you've been for the run. So I definitely think a running partner helps. As an example, I did a running challenge, not last week, the week before. Crazy running challenge. I can't say I'll probably, you know, I can't say I'll do it again, but it was, if you didn't see it, I ran every 4 hours, 4 miles every 4 hours for 48 hours. So I basically didn't sleep and just grabbed a little bit of food in between each run. Crazy. Would I have done that on my own? Absolutely not. Would I have had the commitment level and the energy levels to go out at midnight, get home at 20 to 1, have a quick shower, have something to eat, sit down for a nap, go again at 4 a.m, go again at 8 a.m? No. I ran with a couple of guys and they were awesome. They were the reason that I got round that challenge. I couldn't have done it without them. And being a female, and I know this has been really heavy on the news with everything that went on last week, but you know, being a female, I don't mind saying this, I do get worried running on my own. And I make sure if I am running on my own, I plan my route. And the guys that I run with, you know, they'll say, I even say to them, I won't run on an evening on my own when it's dark. Even on the main roads, I just don't feel comfortable. And that's just me. You know, there's certain routes that I love doing with other people, but I wouldn't do on my own because they're a little bit too off-roady. You know, I don't like running on the canal on my own. And if I do a route on the canal on my own, I'm telling you now, it is my fastest 2-mile section of my run because I like it, and that's not what it's about. So being with a partner just takes that stress away, and that worry as well. And I'm sure I'm not the only female on here that, you know, has those thoughts and plans the route ahead. Can see Sharon's logged in. Sharon is awesome. She has been smashing her running, and I've seen that she committed to doing at least one half marathon every month, and she's done Jan, Feb and March already, which is fantastic. We actually ran past each other a couple of weeks ago in Charleston. You know, so maybe that might be your worry. It might be you don't want to run on your own, you don't want to run in the dark. The only time you can run, it's dark. Lighter nights are coming, but that's absolutely fine. That's normal, you know. Eva's put, she likes running in the evening. I enjoy running. I don't mind running in the dark. I just feel conscious. So maybe just look at anything that's an obstacle for you and try and overcome that obstacle. And I've already said plan your route, because what I think sometimes is I think I'll go out and I'll do this route and that'll be about 6 miles, and then I get like nearly to the end, I'm like, wow, that's only 4 miles. Like I've misjudged that one. So have a plan of your route, because it can go the opposite way as well. You think you've planned yourself a route and then you end up quite far out and you think, And I did this the other day. I didn't plan my route. I just went with the flow, and it was 9 miles, and in my head it was 6 or 7, which was fine. I didn't mind that. But for others, you might get too far out, and you know, that isn't what you planned to do. So plan your route. It's hard to find people to run with, and so many people don't enjoy it. I get that, Kelly, and I think, you know, one of the points that I wanted to touch on is lots of people don't enjoy it because they just get it wrong. Now, I'm not saying I come back from a run and I'm like, yes, that was easy today. There's never a run I do where I'm like, I loved that, it was brilliant, it was dead easy, because it just doesn't happen. I would say 99% of my runs I come back and I'm like, thank God I am back, whether it be a 4 mile, 5 mile, a marathon. I can honestly say I've never got back and thought, well, that was easy, you know. And it's rare that I'm like, I enjoyed that. I enjoy the company, I enjoy the challenge, but I always find it hard. And what happens with what you're saying there, Kelly, about people don't enjoy it, you tend to find that people get the wrong footwear, as an example, or get the wrong attire, and then on the back of that end up with injuries or aches and pains, and they just think like, I can't do running, I end up aching, I hurt my back, my legs hurt, everything hurts, I don't enjoy it. And it might just be something as simple as kit. And I would always advise people, and this is one of the points that I've written down, if I had £1 for every time somebody messaged me and said, Emma, what trainers should I buy for running, I would have a trainer fund for life. And I cannot answer that question for you, because everybody's feet are different. I would recommend you go and have a gait analysis done. Now, of course, with lockdown, the shops are closed at the moment. I go to a shop near me called Up and Running, and I cannot recommend them enough. The guys there are awesome, and you just get on a treadmill, do a little jog, and don't worry, you know, you're not on there for ages. And they just watch your feet, how you place, how you land, the movement, and they will then tell you which trainers suit you. Don't have to pay for the gait analysis. You know, you don't necessarily need to buy the trainers from them, but they will give you the right advice. And it might be that you need a particular trainer because you are a neutral runner. Your feet might come in a little bit, they might go out, you might pronate, you know, you might have flat feet. And that's what the issue is with lots of people who run. They wear the incorrect footwear. They'll wear a pair of, I don't know, Air Max trainers with the big air bubbles round, or they'll run in a pair of Converse or something that are completely like hard flat, and then they end up with tight calves. They can't walk for a couple of days, the back aches, they've got shin splints. I hear that all the time. I get shin splints when I run. And I'm going to put my neck out there and say 95% of the injuries that you are getting at the beginning are because of incorrect footwear. It is as simple as that. So if you really want to give it a good go and enjoy it, then you've got to get your footwear right. And people laugh at me saying, you've got another pair of trainers. But I am really picky with my trainers, making sure that, I do anywhere between, they normally say like 400 and 500 miles in a pair of trainers as an example. I don't go over that because they lose the cushion, they lose the protection, but that's just me because of the type of miles I do. So I would advise you to go have a look at your gait analysis, because the likelihood is, they might say to you, you're running in the complete wrong trainer. You're spending all this money on this type of trainer when you actually don't need that. You really need this, or vice versa. So I would say have a look at that, because once you get the footwear right, and you've got comfortable clothing on, that makes the run much more enjoyable, because you've got less chance of injury, less chance of any problems, less chance. You are going to ache after, of course. I ache. I'm always walking about like a packet of broken biscuits. I was just saying then, I've had some slight tweaks done with some insoles in my trainers, just because of my insteps ever so slightly changed. And it is like realigning my hips. My hips, I've been in agony with my hips, but that is because I'm wearing little insoles now in the back of my trainers. So I'm always hobbling about and aching. So that is normal, especially if you're doing high volume mileage, and there's lots of you on here that are doing a lot more miles than me. So get the correct footwear and make sure you're comfortable. That will reduce your risk of injury. It will help to support your feet better, help to make sure you've got all the correct measures in place, and it's just the trainer that is best for you. I'm just trying to think what was the other thing I was going to say. I had a few, let me just check I've written down all. And these are just some questions that people have asked me. I thought, I'll just jump on live and share some tips. And like I said at the beginning, I'm no pro, I'm no athlete, I'm no running coach. This is just little old me sharing with you what I've got right, what I've got wrong. I got the wrong footwear right at the beginning. I was that person that had constant shin splints. I ran in Nike trainers that I wore for about 4 years. They were battered. They weren't supporting my knees, my ankles. Then I moaned that I ached. I had a bad back for weeks. And it was Caroline that advised me to go and take a look and get the right trainers. It makes a difference. When we lift out of lockdown as well, for anybody that doesn't know, there is something called Park Run on a Saturday. This is somebody that has asked me about how to get into 5Ks. Park Run, Google it, take a look online. It is, basically it's a 5K run across the UK in lots of different parks, where you just turn up. It's at 9 a.m. and it's a 5K route that is planned out. You don't have to pay to go. It is all volunteers. They are amazing. The route is there for you. You can walk, you can jog, you can run. I've done park runs with people pushing the pram, and you name it. So have a look online, see where your local park runs are. You just download a barcode and it'll give you your time. It gives you everything at the end. They will be back up and running again, fingers crossed, when we obviously get through the other side of lockdown. So have a look at that. And then just another couple of top tips that I had is just make sure you've got your diet right and make sure you're hydrated. So ideally you want to be drinking about 8 glasses of water a day minimum. Make sure you're hydrated, because people tend to feel dreadful after a run, say they don't enjoy it because they feel dehydrated, they get a headache. So just think about what you're putting in your body before you get out there and start shifting the calories out, if you like. So good diet, don't be eating shocking. And I'll give you an example. On Sunday, Mother's Day, I had a Chinese, I ate loads of chocolates that I'd got for Mother's Day, I had a couple of gins, I ran Monday morning. I felt shocking. I felt like I was dragging myself around, poor nutrition the day before. And for me, I could say, well, it was only 10k versus the miles I normally do, but every mile hurt, every mile I felt the bad nutrition I put in my body. So either plan your cheat nights and your bad nights without a run the next day, or just weigh up what you are eating. And obviously I don't want to keep you all on it for ages, because I just wanted to pop on and share some top tips. But if you are struggling with the nutrition side, pop me a message and I'll quite happily share more info with you on the right nutrition. So nutrition and hydration. And a little bugbear from me, if you are running and you are in the UK, flip your kilometres to miles on your apps, because it just drives me potty. Does it drive anybody else potty on here when I see people running? They're like 7k, 12k. I'm like, oh no, we drive in miles, like everything's mile per hour. And I know there's 5k runs and there's 10k runs, but that's, you know, your 3.1 miles, your 6.2. After that, you know, a half marathon, we wouldn't talk about 10k, 12k, 14k, 15k, 60. It doesn't work. It's miles, 1 mile, 2 mile, 3 mile. Same with the marathon. That's just my bugbear. I just love to see people's Strava and Garmin and everybody's updates, but when it's kilometres, I'm a little bit challenged. Don't mind saying that. Trying to convert it to miles. We operate in miles. So I'm just going to check, because I think, oh, it was Marie saying that she likes to run. So they were just a few top tips from me. You know, and if anybody else got any questions, anything that they want to ask, anything they maybe don't feel comfortable commenting on here, feel free to message me. You know, I can give you my honest opinion, I can give you some advice, I can point you in the right direction of amazing gym wear, you know, where to get the trainers from, what what I think would massively help you, and reach out to people. Say, you know, I'm going to start, I want to get cracking, I want to start running. Who wants to run with me? Who wants to be my partner? We can start by walking, jogging. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid, you know, that you're going to be out of breath. Don't be afraid that you're going to be red-faced. Don't be afraid, you know, that I see people say, I'd love to run, but I don't want to run where people will see me. I just think, you know, and I had a lady the other week that said someone, you know, drove past me and I just felt really uncomfortable because they were beeping. I'm like, they're driving. You're doing something. You know, you're getting fitter, you're looking after yourself. They're in the car, lazy sods. You're running. So don't be afraid or worried about what other people think. Go back to your reason why you're going to start running. The reason why is for you, you know. Don't worry about other people. Just find a partner if you need a partner, plan your route, get organised, have that goal in mind. And I promise you now, and I would love to see it as well, people that are logged in here now who haven't run, I guarantee by the end of this year, if you get enough tips and advice and get yourself straight from this, you'll be doing a 5k by the end of the year. You'll be entering 10k races. It's like an addiction, it's like a bug. Like a 5k turns into a 10k, 10k then, you know, can turn into multiple 10k's. Before you know it, you're running a half marathon. You're then on that bridge of, maybe I should do a marathon at some point in my lifetime. That then flips to multiple marathons, and it just ends up in a bit of a spiral. And I'm the first to tell you that, because I never ever in a million years would have thought I would have ran a marathon ever. And here I am. 8 marathons I've done. 8. Number 9 will be Manchester this year, October. I've lost all track of months, days, times, no idea. Number 9. And I even still think now, I must be mad, but I love it, you know. I love the challenge. So any questions, feel free to give me a shout. I've loved seeing loads of runners on here as well, and people who've got started with running. I just wanted to jump on and share some top tips with you, because lots of you message me. So hope that has helped. Like I said, feel free, drop me a message, give me a shout, anything you want to say. I can certainly help and give you some advice, which is just my advice. So hope you're all having a lovely Tuesday evening, and I will speak to you all next Tuesday, and it'll be a totally new topic again next week. So thank you for joining me, and I will see you all next week.